Warning: viewers' discretion is advised as this may contain mature or triggering content. Title: Unexpected Fates. Part 3. A decade had gone by since Saris, Urvo, and Britina finished creating their new beloved world, Kaya. It was gorgeous and flourishing with life, just as they had hoped it would. Their humans, though magicless, took well to Britina's guiding words and dreams. They had already advanced with simple but sturdy buildings, wagons, and other tools to help them live. It was a very basic and simple world for the time being, but they knew it would change as their humans evolved. Humans were always changing and evolving, creating new things even without the helping hand of Britina. They were interesting, and created some of the most beautiful things that not even mystical creatures could create. There had only been a few hiccups here and there, but there was nothing major. Disputes between the different tribes, storms, small things like that. The three of them were quick to give a helping hand to their humans without revealing themselves fully. Britina was always the first quote-unquote god they met, as she was the celestial of knowledge. They needed her guidance more. The three of them preferred being called divine beings, as they were celestials. Britina had worked hard to get them to use the term celestials. Thankfully, these people either called them divine ones or celestials. The three of them sat at the table, staring at their planet. Nuwa said to be careful of Myrna, but there has been nothing, Britina said with a small sigh. Urvo nodded. Have you seen Estral recently? It is a charred planet. I'm not even sure if Myrna is still alive. Saris frowned. I wouldn't let your guard down. Nuwa told us to be very careful. If Myrna was dead, Estral would have vanished by now. His words were true. If the Celestial holding the planet's life died, the planet vanished with them. Urvo ran a hand over his face. Maybe she doesn't have the power to reach us. I'm pretty sure she paid a heavy price after killing Garv and then almost killing you. Saris nodded. Nuwa didn't seem too happy. She usually leaves us to our own devices, but I'm pretty sure she paid Myrna a visit out of pure anger. Britina shivered and Urvo wrapped a dark, muscular arm around her shoulder, pulling her closer to him. I'm going to go for a stroll on Kaya. You guys enjoy some alone time. Britina's red eyes watched Saris. Saris, you don't have to leave. He smiled at her. I know the two of you would like some alone time. I'm not angry about it. Besides, it's been a while since I've roamed around in my more mortal form. A small smile filled her face. Thank you. Urvo held up a hand and Saris high-fived him. Stay safe. Saris chuckled. I'll be fine. You two just focus on yourselves. You've both been so busy with our humans. You've had little time to yourselves. Saris pressed a hand to the orb before winking at the two of them, and then light consumed him. He appeared on a grassy hill, his milky white skin striking against his long black hair that reached the middle of his back, paired with his silver eyes. The perks of having created the humans with a variety of different hair and eye color meant they didn't need to change their appearance. Well, Urvo might have to, considering green hair wasn't one of the ones they had created. He chuckled at the thought of Urvo having to change his hair. It did make him wonder why Urvo hadn't created anyone with green hair, perhaps wanting to remain special compared to his creations. Maybe he worried Britina's affections would go to another man. It made him smirk. He stretched out his muscles before walking along the already made path. He was still barefoot, clothed in garments that matched those of the people of their world. The clothes looked misplaced compared to the beauty of his appearance. Even in his mortal form, he was strikingly handsome. Females would follow him around hoping to gain his affections. But he never paid mind to any woman, not even among the many celestials he'd met. His mind wandered as he tried to remember who had been the one to tell him that those that created worlds could not love. But every time he tried, it only made his head lace with pain, as if there was something dark shrouding those memories. He sighed. This will get me nowhere. I should ask Nuwa if she can help. Saris wasn't sure if she would, or if she even could. He wasn't sure what the limits of her involvement with her children entailed. Then again, he'd always wondered if there were actual limits, or if she just claimed so, making it impossible to play favorites with her children. He understood her need to create herself such rules if that was the case. She was almost meticulous at her need to keep up with the rules in line. It was rare when she'd go out of her way to help her children with something major, which was why he felt so unsure about asking her to open up his memories. His thoughts were pierced by a soft, rich female voice. Who are you? He frowned, looking towards the voice, to feel his throat tighten slightly. Not far off from the path was a woman with long, wavy chocolate hair and magenta eyes. Not only was she stunning to look at, but even her body held curves in all the right places. Her face was graced with fine lines of freckles that crossed from one cheek over her cute button nose to the other. He felt shocked at how well he took in the details of her. Even her scent was gentle, and she smelled like flowers after a soft rain. He was lost in her eyes only for a second longer before correcting himself. I'm new to the area, he lied. I'm traveling, and I think I lost my way. My name is Saris. The woman nodded. You've been traveling? Barefooted, she said, giving his feet a pointed glare. For some reason he felt embarrassed. As a celestial, they never wore shoes, even while walking upon the worlds they made. It felt normal not to have shoes, as it allowed them to feel more connected to the world. Well, mine fell apart not long ago. They were making it more of a hassle to walk, so I pitched them to the side. The woman began to chuckle at him. You are a strange one. Come with me. Why? Saris asked, confused at why the woman would want him to follow her. You said you were lost, correct? He once again felt heat cross his cheeks. Well, yes, but I was sure I could find my way. The woman giggled at him once more. Just follow me. You aren't far off. I'm sure you would have found it, but they don't take too kindly to strangers. She glanced behind to look at him. Not even handsome ones. Saris smirked slightly. Ah, so you do think I'm handsome. The woman rolled her eyes. I would have to be blind not to enjoy looking at you, but you aren't the only handsome man around, so don't get too confident. Her words made Saris feel giddy. It was the first time a woman hadn't openly drooled over him, or tried forcing herself upon him. He was fairly sure she was being coy, and it didn't bother him. So, Miss Guide, can I have your name? She paused, glancing towards him before huffing. Aurora. Lovely. She shrugged. A name is simply a name. Saris frowned. You know, a great deal of the time, parents take great care in naming their children. Aurora rolled her eyes. I heard my parents called me that because one was in the sky the eve I was born. Doesn't seem like much thought was put into that. You'd be surprised by how much thought they put into it. They could have been planning to name you that before the start, and it just so happened that an aurora formed the eve of your birth. You could call it a form of the world blessing your birth. She stared at him for a moment. I never thought of it like that before. Perhaps. Not that I'll ever know. As for the world blessing my birth, she rolled her eyes once more. I doubt that far more than I doubt them selecting my name at random. Saris smiled. You never know. Saris couldn't explain why he felt such a pull to this woman. It wasn't as if he hadn't seen beautiful women before. There was just something that drew him in. By the way, I don't suggest going about on your own if you're new to this area. Her words pulled him from his thoughts. Why is that? She put her hands on her hips, her lips pursing. Are you truly oblivious to the lore of this land that tells every child now grows up fearing the beast which roams this world? Saris frowned now. The what? His confusion earned him yet another eye roll. Where the beast goes, death follows, so don't roam alone. It was originally a tale spun to keep children from wandering off, but soon there were reports about a terrifying black beast that spit venom and murdered for fun. Saris's mind reeled. A storm of disbelief and curiosity struck him. Surely there had been no such beast when they'd created this world. It sounded like a mystical beast, and they had agreed to make this a normal planet. He was frozen in place. I apologize, but I just remembered there was something I needed to take care of back home. Aurora simply shrugged. So be it. If we meet again, it would be a pleasure, but if not, then it simply isn't fate. Saris nodded. I do wish for us to meet again. Maybe when I return, I might have a solution for this nightmarish being that has been plaguing you. She watched him. He seemed greatly disturbed by finding out that such a thing roamed the world. If you did, everyone would forever be grateful to you. Your name would be praised for years to come. That damn beast has killed some of our best workers and plenty of livestock within my town. It would be no small feat if you rid us of that foul beast. Saris nodded. Then, till we meet again, Aurora. He closed the distance between them, grabbing her hand gently before placing a kiss atop it. It would seem like a simple gesture to her, but he was actually placing a protective seal on her hand. He turned, leaving her alone, and vanished before her very eyes, leaving her struck in awe and confusion. To be continued. Hello, hello. Yes, I know it has been a while. I haven't been able to record since summer break is here and my child is at home with me. It makes recording a little bit difficult. Part 3 is here though, and I do hope that I can get the rest of the parts done and recorded so I have them when needed. But I will not promise anything because that's just kind of life for you and I don't know what to expect ever. I do hope you're still enjoying this and that you stick around for the next parts to come because we are getting closer to the action scenes, I promise. I do hope that you will let me know your thoughts about this, and as always, if you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!